Hey guys, how's it going? I am back again. Now, I will tell you this right now. I have been working my butt off for the past couple of days trying to do something which I haven't done actually at all during this GMO commentary, and that's start to bolster up the farm system. I haven't really been doing anything whatsoever to make our guys in the minors good, but I've been doing a bunch of trades lately to bolster these guys up. So I will say this video is going to be kind of short, because I'm going to need help from you guys in the comments later on in this video for you guys to give me suggestions on what I need to do. But right now, this video is pretty much going to be showing you guys everything that I've been doing, and then I'm going to sign a couple of guys. I'm not going to sign the big name guys, but I'm going to sign a bunch of the rookie guys to help get the farm system, get the minors in place, and then still during the free agency, you guys can help me on what we need to do. So let's show you some of the stuff that I've been doing as of lately. So we'll start all the way from down from the bottom. So as you guys know, we sent all these contracts to guys to just signing rookies and whatnot, but that's not anything important. Okay, so one of the big things that we've done, and I'll show you the guys who I traded for too, how good they are, because they may not seem good right now, but I'll show you when we go into it. So I traded away Max Adolph because we had an abundance of centers in our minors, so we couldn't really uh, deal with any more centers. So we traded Max Adolph to the Vancouver Canucks, but we got Nicholas Jensen in return. So as you can see his overall right there is a 74 overall, but we'll go into deeper detail in the trading screen to actually show you what the player is all about. So we got Nicholas Jensen back, so that's a very good trade, 1-for-1. Now, in this one, we went to the Los Angeles Kings, where we gave away Tommy Christensen, Jordan Subban, and Santavuri. So we gave all them to the Kings, but we picked up Jordan Wheel in return. So another good guy who we can throw down the minors, who eventually will get very good. Now, we also traded away Jesper Hornquist, I think Donald and Lowry, just two and a half star guys. I don't even think they were 2.5 star guys. They 2 star guys, just not really that good at all. So we traded away those guys, and now we got actually a really good backup goalie in Jack Campbell, who's actually still on his minor league contract. I think like 570K. So he's still on his minor league contract. He doesn't need to pass through waivers. So in a sense, we can throw him into the minors and start. But that's a question I have for you guys down for you guys. I'm not really entirely sure on this, but answer this question if you guys can in the comments. If you take a goalie who's considered a backup goalie and start him in the minors, will he get worse? Or will he continue to get better? I don't know, because Jack Campbell is a 4.5 gold star potential. So leave that in the comments. If we take a backup goalie and start him in the minors for all the games in the minors this year, will he get better or will he get worse? So leave that in the comments, because I'm not entirely sure on that. But that's a very good trade. Trading away a goalie for a very good goalie. Now, since we picked up Jack Campbell, we gave away William Roscoe in return, because there's also a very good goalie which I'm probably going to sign in free agency. So we gave away William Roscoe because he wasn't moving up in the ranks all that much. So we traded him away, and now we got a really good fourth liner. We got Jaden Hart and a fourth round pick just in return for that. So Jaden Hart, I'll show you his stats. He's actually a really good fourth liner right now. He has 4 gold star potential too. He was actually a first round pick, I think 11th overall. So that's a very good pick there. Now, in this one, with the trade for Ottawa, we gave away Mitchell Fitzmaurice and Randy Stevenson, just a 3.5 star guy and a just a nobody name. But in return, we got Mika Zibanejad from Ottawa, so another 77 overall. So now we're building up the Phantoms, guys. We're trying to get some good players for the future. So we gave him away. Then we also gave away Sergei Fedorov to the Anaheim Ducks. But in return, we got Tyler Toffoli. So as you guys can see, what we're doing here is we're trading away a bunch of these 3.5 star guys and getting 4-star gold guys in return. So it's very good. So we got Tyler Toffoli back. And then this recent one I just made very recently, was Guy Laporte, Holland, and Pominville, because I was getting all offense. I need some defense. So I traded those 3 guys away and got back Aaron Hoyles from Tampa Bay, a very good depth defenseman. So those are all the trades that I've done. Now let's go check these guys out and show you how actually good they are. Okay, GM options, trade negotiations. And let's show you some of these guys. So if we go from bottom to top, okay, so let's start with Jordan Wheel. So as you can see, he's a depth forward, 4 gold star potential. He's a playmaker, so obviously he's going to get better in time. So he'll be playing in the minors in the first line this year. So good thing for him. Now, Hoyles, Aaron Hoyles, 3.5 gold star. But yeah, he's only 3.5 gold star, but look what happened to Brandon Manning and Eric Wellwood. They are only 3.5 gold star guys, but he's actually good. His defensive category is actually starting to progress really good. His offense is pretty good too, so he's gonna turn out to be pretty good. So he'll be on the defensive core. Tyler Toffoli, he'll be starting as well for the Phantoms on the first line. Probably he's a sniper, so we probably need some more snipers on this team. 4 gold star potential, obviously. Getting all these good 4-star guys. This guy, Jaden Hart. He's already a fourth liner, 78 overall, 2-way defenseman. He's got that 99 defensive awareness, so that's one reason I picked him up. Not the most physical guy, and he's still pretty young. He's only 21, so this guy could actually turn out to be a really good third or fourth liner for us of the future. He could even maybe get better too. He could be turn out to be like a Wayne Simmons or something like that. But as you can see in the minors this year, but there it was 2014. He was the first overall pick. He was the 7th overall pick in 2014. So that was 2 years ago. Yeah, so he actually turned out to be pretty good. He only played 2 seasons in the AHL for Washington, and he turned out pretty good. So that's that. Cousins Bjork Jensen. Yes, he's the guy who we got from Vancouver. Minor league scoring forward. As you can see, there's his stats. His offensive category is already good. He's got a wicked shot already. Everything else is pretty much just leveled up. We want him to be a really good sniper in the future. So a lot of these guys are first-round picks too. Is that it? Jensen, Lundqvist. Yep, we still haven't. Zimnejad. That's right. So Mika Zimnejad we got from Ottawa. He's also another 2-way forward. So we're trying to get a bunch of 2-way forwards so they can be third and fourth liners of us for the future, so that they can be cheap guys. And look, there we go, first round pick from 2011, 6th overall from Ottawa. So getting a bunch of these guys and a bunch of 4-star guys. So really good building up that. Okay. Oh, and Campbell too. Yeah, so once again, guys, give me your opinions on this. He's a 4.5 gold star potential goalie, backup goalie at 80 overall. Like I said, if you start him in the minors, will he get worse or will he get better? I'm not entirely sure, but he doesn't need to pass through waivers because he's still, like I said, he's still in a minor league contract, and it says his contract's only one way, but he is in waivers, but we wouldn't be calling him up anyway. And if we did have to call him up during the playoffs, it wouldn't matter because the waivers are not in effect during the playoffs, so it wouldn't even matter. But again, like I said, just I know I'm repeating this for the millionth time, but answer that question for me. If we take a goalie who is already considered a backup and we play him in the minors all season, will he get worse or will he get better? So that's what I want to know on that. Okay, so that's all the guys that we picked up. Now, let's go into free agency and sign the guys who I want to sign. Now, I need some more depth. All right, so let's just do this first. Let's just take it all, go in a row. Okay, so I know there's that 4-star goalie, Jacob Brennan, who I want to sign. I'm actually going to sign. I actually shouldn't have released Lundstrom and Bernard to free agency because they actually had some pretty good trade values. So you know what? I'm actually going to sign a bunch of goalies. But so first off, Brennan, Pittsburgh's already interested in you. So you know what? I can't do more than 3 years on a 2-way, so I'll do that. 3 years at 7.25. That's fine. Nathan Lewin, Lundstrom, and Bernard. I'll sign Lewin. I think Lundstrom had a pretty good trade value, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he only wants 1 year, but we'll give him 3 years at 16.615. That's fine. Sign a bunch of these goalies so I can use them as trade bait too, because I'm gonna need them. And Lewin too, so we'll sign him. There's no other teams interested in. Bump it up to 3. Yeah, bump it up to 3 for 6.5. Yep, do that. Okay, so that's all the goalies that we need. Okay, let's do defense. Now, I know there's a bunch of restricted free agents on here. Yeah, there's a bunch of restricted free agents who actually have 3-star potential. Now, Colin Bowman. Now, the deal I think that goes with restricted free agents and in free agency, like the Shea Weber deal, being a Flyers fan, when the Shea Weber went into free agency, the Flyers sent him an offer sheet, basically, where we sent the guy an offer sheet, and if he accepts the offer sheet, we get the rights to the player, while the team who's originally had that player gets draft picks in return. So I don't now let me see here. Okay, I don't think draft picks are necessarily involved when okay, so if there's a restricted free agent now and he wants a two-way contract, I do not think we have to throw draft picks in. So if I bump this guy up to like 3 years, Colin Bowman, 3 years, 9.25 on a two-way contract. Yeah, see, in order to proceed with signing Colin Bowman, you must provide the Carolina Hurricanes with draft picks below. And since he's he wants a two-way contract, we don't have to throw picks in. Now Carolina can still match the offer sheet, but it wouldn't hurt just to throw it in. So we'll sign that because it's not hurting us one anyway whatsoever. We'll throw both of these guys in here too. I think yeah, they're 2.5 stars, but they're minor league top guys. So we'll do Nick Crawford. We'll send him one as well. Send him a 3-year deal. Just bump it up to all the way up. Ah, crap, I didn't want to do that. Bump it up all the way. It doesn't hurt. Even though it says our salary will be low, it really doesn't matter because it won't matter in the end because they're on two-way contracts. Same thing with Derek Holden. Sign up for 9.25 up to 3 years. Chicago's interested in him, obviously, because it's probably his team. And that's it. Okay, so that's it. Oh, no, we're not unrestricted free agents for defensemen. Potential-wise, Luke Shen, we don't have to worry about him. Okay, let's sign these two guys. Kyle Pereira, 3 years. And Corbin Baldwin, 3 years. Okay, good there. Now if we take on forwards, just sign a bunch of these guys. Misatel we don't need. I could sign these Red Star guys. They can essentially turn out to be pretty good. So Nicholas Lasso, we'll grab you for 3 year. Crap, he's probably gonna reject that. And Yorkeman, just bump him up. Bump him up. And now I know there's a grinder in here who I want to sign who actually had a pretty good trade value. Well, actually not a good trade value. Where is he? Where is he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Did I fly right by him? There he is. Mario Kemp. We actually drafted him in 2007, but his defensive category is beastly. 89 defensive awareness, 85 shot blocking, 90 stick checking. Very good defensive stats. He's lacking pretty much everywhere else, but still, the defensive category is actually very good. I wouldn't mind picking him up. So we can just draft him, probably give him like give him a 4-year contract at 1.5. That wouldn't be bad. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so that's all the guys pretty much I want. Then again, like I said, we'll trade for the other guys in due time. Now, let's just see who accepts and who denies. Okay, so we'll do it day by day. Okay. Just go up day by day. Okay, my GM rep went up, so I get a 5th phone now. Okay, so Jacob Brennan accepted, good. And Nicholas Rundstrom accepted. Okay, so we got the 2 goalies. So we simulate another day up here. Okay, okay, so Nick Crawford, these are the restricted free agent guys. I decided to accept your offer as presented, but it's not a done deal just yet. I won't be able to join your organization right away as my previous team has a chance to match your offer. See, like, that's how offer sheets work. So if they match it, then they get him back. We don't have to give up anything. So, okay, Lasso accepted. Mario Kemp, okay, he accepted, good. That guy accepted. Pereira accepted. I had actually decided to sign with your team, but you no longer have cap space. Okay, that's fine. Lewin accepted. And Corbin Baldwin accepted. Okay. So we don't have enough cap space as of right now. We have to wait and see if those guys accept or don't accept the offer sheets, and then we'll get cap space back. So, I do have cap space, actually. If I sign the guys. Because those guys probably accepted it, that's why. Go to restricted free agents. Where's he at? Derek Holden. Yeah. So I just send it to him again. Chicago's waiting on him. Simulate a day up again. Let's see. Okay, so the Buffalo Sabres have decided to match your 9.25 offer sheet to Nick Crawford, okay? So they decide to match him. and the Carolina Hurricanes decided to match our offer for Colin Bowman. Okay, so they matched him. Oh, now we're still waiting on Derek Holden too. And Dan Terrell is still available, which is good. Oh, never mind. Okay, Derek Holden accepted. Okay, he accepted it as well. How many more? We have tons of time left in free agency. Okay. The Chicago Blackhawks have decided that they are not willing to match your offer to Derek Holden. Given the minimum salary involved, you're not obligated to supply any draft picks as compensation. So we picked up Derek Holden off of a offer sheet. So that's our first offer sheet pickup. So we picked him up. Very good. Now we got a bunch of rookies. A lot of good guys signed now comes the big questions, guys. Let's take a look at their trade values, actually. So let's take a look at the goalies first. All of our goalies. So now we have Brennan. We picked up Brennan. Lundstrom. They actually didn't have that good of a trade value anyway. Okay, that's still fine. We could always just keep one of these guys as backups. But, okay. Bobrovsky, we can probably get rid of him now. But, so we picked up Jacob Brennan. He's a 4-star guy. We could technically start him in the AHL too. He's a 4 gold star potential. He's a first-round draft pick by the St. Louis Blues in 2014. So if we can't, if you guys answer that question correctly, if we can't start Campbell, then we could start Brennan. So that wouldn't be so that bad of a thing, because if we can start Campbell, then we could probably get rid of Brennan, and we could trade him away. So that's good. Okay, so let's take a look at defense. Take a look where these guys are at. Okay, so Holden. Like I said, we just need some depth on defense. So Baldwin, Pereira, Oduya's still here. Of the 2, he'll still be starting. So now we can probably get rid of Oduya. Let's take a look at the defense this year. So Keegan Lowe is staying on this team. I actually made the decision to keep him. He'll be a depth player for the playoffs. So I don't want to keep him. I don't want to trade him away because his salary's so low. I might as well. Even though he has a good trade value, I might as well just keep him for depth in the playoffs. So Holes, he'll be playing. Bourdon will be playing. All-the-2 will be playing. Pereira. So let me see. Let me count these right. Keegan Lowe doesn't have to pass their waivers either, so he technically could play in the minor leagues too. So I'll just count them for now. So Keegan Lowe, that'll be 1, 2. Bourdon, all-the-2. And then Baldwin and Pereira. Okay, so that's our defense for the minors. Good. And if not, then we could put Holden in there. Yeah, cool. Or Oduya. It doesn't even matter. So we got our defense for the minors. Good. Okay, so if we take a look at our forwards now, take a look at the forwards for the minors. Okay, so Yormaka. Okay, let's count these guys up. So 1, 2, 3. He's up here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's our 12. We got them. We got all the 12 guys that we need for the minors as well. Cool. Very good. Yeah, very, very good. So we got everybody that we need for the minors. Good. So we basically have everybody that we need. Cool. Very, very good. Okay. So, now here comes the big decisions, guys. We have 2.6 really million dollars still to work with in salary. Now let's check out the roles here. Because like I said, I'm not going to be making these decisions yet. Now that we have our top 3 considered, well, really, we have 2 guys who are going to be playing on the first line. Tyler Ennis and now Scott Chenyuk. We'll get to Claude Giroux in a minute. We have 4 guys who are available to play on the second line. Jeff Skinner, Wayne Simmons, Jacob Voracek, and Braden Shen. I kind of want to give Braden Shen over Jacob Voracek because Jacob Voracek really isn't pulling his weight. He's sucking up a big thing of salary. It's the same thing as Jeff Skinner, and they're pretty much turning out to become the exact same player now. And I really just want to keep Jeff Skinner over Jacob Voracek. Now, we can probably trade Jacob Voracek away, but like I said, what do we get back for him? That's the question. So if Braden Shen now moves up to the second line, that means on the third line we have Eric Wellwood, Sean Couturier can probably play on the third line now for the first time in a while, and now Ryan Callahan. Now, Ryan Callahan, we may want to trade him away because he has a very big salary as well. Maybe we can find another third liner for a lot cheaper because $4.5 million for a third liner is a little bit too much money. Now, if we move it down to the fourth line, where's those things? Okay, so now if we move down to the fourth line, we do have Kempt and we do have Hart playing there on the fourth line. We need one more fourth liner to pretty much lay out this team, and I would rather it be a very good fourth liner, like a really high, like maybe a third liner to play as a fourth liner. So, because Jaden Hart's not going to be able to pull it on the fourth line all by himself, even though he's very good. Same thing with Mario Kemp. He's not going to be able to pull it on the fourth line just because they're even though their defensive categories are very good, otherwise else they're not that well rounded. I think Jaden Hart actually did have a pretty good offensive category. Yeah, he has a pretty good offensive category, so maybe he could be able to hold it, but he needs some help back there. So we definitely need one more fourth liner. Now, if that's the case, so what we're really looking for right now is we definitely need another fourth line player for our main roster. And also, well, technically Zimnejad could play up here too, because his defensive category isn't that bad, but I want to give him time in the minors, so especially all these guys, I want to give time in the minors. So, think. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. We need a fourth liner, one more fourth line guy, and we also maybe need a third line guy to fill out Ryan Callahan's spot. Maybe if we could trade Callahan away, we can find another big person. But now, here's what I'm thinking. If we can trade away Jakub Voracek for somebody who's pretty good, because Jakub Voracek is the third highest trade value on our team. And I was looking at some players, and this guy's up here as well. And we know what he's about. For anybody that's watched 2BC, we know what he's about. He's very good, overall well-rounded. Now, he has first line. He's a first-line forward. He's the same overall as Jakub Voracek, much better than Voracek is. So, technically, we could trade him one-player trade swing. Now, he only has 1 year left on his contract. But if we were to trade for him, I would want to put him on the first line. So then, if I put him on the first line, and I don't want to get rid of Galchenyuk, and I don't want to give away Tyler Ennis, do I have to give away him? Because technically that is a very high salary. 10.4 is a very high salary. But here's the thing. If we throw up, say, him, and if we're not going to keep... If I can move Campbell down to the minors, and I don't need to play Brennan, could I essentially maybe, I don't know, trade these guys for, I don't know, maybe him? It's just some suggestions, because we could essentially trade both of these guys, since we don't, if what you guys tell me is true, if we don't need these two guys, then we could get him. He's a cheaper salary, and he's signed at 7.7 mil for another 3 years. But then again, we do give them Stamkos and Drew in return. They would be hit with salary cap like hard as hell. But they would have really two good studs on the first line. But that's just some suggestions that I'm thinking, guys. So give me every suggestion that you guys got. I want to see people go crazy in these comments on all these good suggestions that I have. So like I said, give me suggestions on. Okay, let me just wrap this up for you guys so you can actually comment on it. Okay, so do we want to trade Jakub Voracek? Well, we do want to trade away Jakub Voracek. We want to trade Jakub Voracek away for maybe even a third liner and a fourth liner. If we can get both of those guys for Jakub Voracek, or a draft pick too. Draft picks are always good. We could trade him away for maybe a third or a fourth liner and maybe a draft pick in return. So that would be good. Or do we want to get somebody like Sven Barchi, get him on the team, put him on the first line, and then Drew. So give me suggestions, guys. Do we trade? Well, we are going to trade Voracek, but who do we trade Voracek for? So that's one thing I want you guys to comment about. 2, if we trade Jakub Voracek away for like a first liner or something like that, do we then trade Claude Giroux away to get rid of the salary? And do we trade him for somebody like Hunter Shinkaruk, who would be an amazing addition to this team? So give me suggestions on that. Goalies. Can Jacob Campbell, who's considered a backup goalie, play in the minors without getting worse? So comment on that. Brennan, should we trade him away if Campbell can't do that? If Campbell can play in the minors, do we then trade away Jacob Brennan? So comment on that. And I believe that is everything. Is that everything? And Keegan Lowe, too. Should we just keep him on the team and just have him scratch the entire year? or like I said, let him play scratch or play in the minors, or do we trade him as well? So, like I said, I want you guys to go crazy in these comments, guys. Give me everything you have because I am definitely in need of help. We have tons of players signed under contract, obviously, 2.6 mil to work with. So give me your suggestions. We need to free up some cap space. Maybe sign a third and a fourth liner to this team. So go crazy, guys. I want to see a bunch of these comments because I need help.